G'day, my name is Laura Baer and I'm your local Aussie girl realtor and I work for Porchlight Real Estate Group. Today I wanted to talk about the different seasons and cycles that take place in real estate. I'm sure you've all heard about them, but let's talk about them in a bit more detail. So typically the market really starts to pick up in the spring leading into the summer, and I think a huge reason for that is two big factors. The first being the weather. It's a lot easier to get out and about. You can see the home and the yard space because it's really hard to see, what's underneath all that snow in the winter in the backyard. What does it look like? I want to know. So a lot of people tend to get out more in the spring leading into the summer to look at properties. And also a lot of families like to move over the summer break when their kids have finished school. So I think the best time to list your home is in the spring leading into the summer for sure. With that being said, there's also a lot more competition out there because this is kind of a known fact across real estate that this is the best time to list. Now, avoid holiday weekends, spring break, Thanksgiving week, all that. If people are away, they're not necessarily thinking about real estate. I must admit, every investment property I've ever bought has been on a holiday weekend because I've had no other competition. So I've been able to haggle the price a bit and get it lower or have more negotiating power. For example, negotiating my commission. So I'm not reducing the price, but you don't have to pay me commission. So definitely don't list on holiday weekends or holidays in general. Spring and summer definitely an amps up. And if you are looking to invest, I would go in the winter months. Yes, there's not as much inventory, but there's far less competition as well. Another thing I'm noticing within new build communities is if a builder has some inventory left behind and it's coming near the end of the quarter, you definitely have more negotiating power. So ask for incentives, ask for washer dryer fridge to be thrown in, window treatments, maybe they can throw in the fencing. I don't know, it's worth asking though, definitely. I feel like buyers have a little bit more negotiating power because things are not just flying off the shelves anymore. So absolutely try to go for everything you can. If they are going to give you, say, a $10,000 incentive, you can use that then to buy down your interest rate. So why not? So again, to kind of wrap that up, if you want more inventory or more houses to look at, the spring and summer is obviously the best time to buy and probably the most convenient for most. If you're an investor, I definitely encourage you to look at holiday weekends, holidays in general, like spring break, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and also look in the winter months. Not as much to choose from, but I do feel like you definitely have more negotiating power because no one, if they're an investor, wants to buy at the top end. It doesn't make sense. The numbers won't work. So let's talk interest rates for a minute. Like, no one's loving them right now, and I get it. I'm in the same boat as an investor. They are crushing me. So the biggest thing I found that's been the most effective is either having the builder or the seller buy down my interest rate. And if you're using a new build, for example, they can do a maximum of 2% buy down, which is pretty huge. So say, it's a $500,000 house, it's a $10,000 buy down. So I'd absolutely ask for that. It makes a huge difference and potentially makes that rental far more cash flow positive. And then you can take those proceeds and put it straight back onto the principal by making that second payment every month. It just makes sense. So the way I look at interest rates is like, say it's a wave, you're gonna surf it. You're down here, they're down low, right? As the shore's pulling back, right? that water's getting sucked in. The interest rates are low, but home prices are high. So they're at the peak of that wave. As interest rates go up, home prices come down and it levels out. So the biggest challenge is finding that sweet time to buy, right? When you don't want to buy when the interest rates are bottomed out, or you can, of course. But then home prices, you might be paying $100,000 more than that home is actually worth. And then when interest rates go up, if you ever want to get out of it, it's like you're upside down on that home because you're not going to be able to sell it for what you bought it for. And then when you're buying again, you can't now buy. Like I have so many people who are like, Laura, this isn't my forever home, But now I feel like I'm stuck in it because I'm locked in at a 2.75 interest rate. Like, it doesn't make sense. And to move or to upgrade, and then they're paying so much more in their mortgage payment because the interest rates are that much higher. So the biggest thing I have heard over and over again from Brian, a lender I work with, love him, is marry the house, date the rate, right? If you can make it work comfortably, don't be house poor, then do it and refi later. It could take years, and know that going into it. It might not be something you can do straight away, but definitely as soon as those rates come down, refi the next thing, you know, take the equity if you want, like do a cash out refi, and then take the equity from that property and put it into the next one, and just keep expanding that way. But it is a long game for sure. No one said it was easy. It's not. So go in knowing that. But I think real estate is just where it's at. If you can do it and you can do it well, you can generate so much wealth for your family, for future generations as well. Again, my name is Laura Baer and I'm your local Aussie girl realtor, and I work in the state of Colorado. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and reach out with any questions. Feel free to leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Bye.